Okay, so we are live today. We are going to discuss shortly the Diastema code. And I remember the last time we covered this play, I think we went up to the end of, that is Act 1. And we did Act 2, Scene 1. Let me see what else we did together. Scene 3. We didn't talk about Scene 3, but we actually covered Act 2, Scene 2. So let's proceed for Act 2, Scene 3. And I hope you're watching. Yeah, so when it comes to the diastema code, we have to talk about Scene 3, which starts from page 28. Now, what is this all about? Now, when you look at this, you actually see that the scene happens in Ramu's house. So we can see Ramu and Kota. We can see Ramu and Kota. Let me have somebody taking this so that I focus on the text, because I'm having a challenge to actually focus properly. Yeah, so we are on Scene 3 of Act 2. Ramu and Kota are just seated in the dining table, at the dining table inside Ramu's house. Yeah, so I hope you still remember where Scene 2 happened. Scene 2 happened in the house, and Ramu and Malkia were taking coffee. And of course, they were discussing whether they'll allow Vera to come and meet the young boy. And Malkia was not very, excited about it. She was a bit hesitant, though she agreed that after the trip, the business trip, she will be allowing Malkia to come and visit them. Now here we are still in Ramu's house, yeah, by the dining table. We have also Kota. I hope you remember Kota as a friend to Ramu. Now Ramu has bowed his head and is supporting it with both his palms like this, all right? Now, student, why do you think one would hold their head in between their palms? Possibly there must be a problem, right? So let's just see whether there's a problem and we'll actually understand what's happening. Now, Kota has placed his right hand on Ramu's left shoulder, and they are conversing in low tones. So actually that tells us that Ramu has a problem. Now Ramu says, how can my world come tumbling down like this, right? Already that tells you that it's a problem. How bitter can anything get? Now Kota is comforting Ramu and telling him that try to be strong, my friend. Kota has been a childhood friend since long ago. Now Ramu is not very happy that it happened to the wife. Now what is this that happened? Now if you've read this book, of course you'll understand that there is an accident that happened to Malkia. Malkia was traveling with the son to the business trip with a maid also. On the road, there happened to be an accident. According to Ramu, it is the recklessness that happens on the roads as drivers are bullied by other drivers who are on the roads. Yeah? And of course, sometimes it's the border, according to him. Now, he's saying that sometimes even pedestrians can be crooked, or motorbikes with intoxicated riders. So these riders tend to cause accidents because they ram into your bonnet, and once they ram into your bonnet, they demobilize you. So if you tend to get in an accident, then they just attack you and say that you're the one who caused it, an impunity aspect here. So Kota is like, let's hope that traffic rules will work in our country. And also, he hopes also that Ramu's wife will be well. That's Malkia. Now, Malkia currently is in an intensive care unit. You understand what ICU is, where someone is struggling, fighting for life. Now, Ramu is very sad that this freak accident would have been stopped if only traffic rules would have been observed in the country. And of course, he remembers, or rather he thinks that the wife was just driving safely on her lane and using the right speed limit before the motorist flew into the lane and landed on her car. And the windscreen was broken and all that. Now, he really complains a lot, and Kota is there trying to console him. Now, Ramu talks about 2 days that they have been in hospital, and the wife is no longer fine. She's still in a coma. Do you know what it means by being in a coma? When you are in a coma, you cannot even talk, you can't even see, you can't even your body doesn't move. So, luckily, the young boy came out unscathed. He was not affected in any way. But the nanny had a broken femur, if you know the part of the bone that I'm talking about here. So, Kota says there are chances that Madam Malkia will be fine. But Ramu is hopeless somehow. Yeah. Then, Ramu's mobile phone just beeps. And he pushes the phone to Kota to see, to let Kota check the message. Now, when Kota checks the message, he says that there is an update from the hospital and Rununu's nanny is now doing well. So Ramu is surprised, but there is a relief, a relief that the nanny is at least well. So then, Ramu again pushes the phone to Kota again because it beeps. He's afraid, he doesn't want to get messages. Now Kota says, of course not. I may as well keep the phone. So the message comes, and the message is from Vera. Vera was wishing Malkia a quick recovery. Now, we see them continuing with the discussion. And of course, Ram is like, do you know Vera was supposed to meet my wife and Rununu just after they have come from the trip. Unfortunately, it ended up making them end up in a hospital. So we end scene 3 as Kota is shaking the head, and saying that they are required in hospital. So then lights fade and they proceed. So let's cover scene 4 because actually we want to finish act 2. Now where does scene 4 happen? Scene 4 happens in a clinic, Ramu's clinic. Ramu is seated at his desk. He is deep in thought. He glances at a framed picture of the wife, Malkia, and the son, Rununu. He picks it up and admires for a while. And then, Malkia has tossed 18-month-old Rununu up, like throwing the child up. In that picture, that is. And the boy appears to be screaming. Of course, this is a picture. It's not a video. So Ramu points at the picture and says, Rununu will be happy when he grows and sees the picture. And Kota is like, yeah, definitely. But then Ramu says that, everybody should not worry about him because he has taken the death of the wife with strides. So now here we understand that Malkia died, right? A tragic ending, huh? Yeah. So Kota advises that they should remove that picture for a while to give him peace. And of course, we see that Kota is a counselor, but when you are met with tragedy, even if you're a counselor, you cannot just control it. You cannot pretend to control it. Yeah. So we actually see that Kota is very important now, very imperative, a friend that is very essential at the moment. Yeah. So Kota now tells him, 13 years old. Ramu says, we are happily skidding into our favorite pool. You know, like Kota tries to make Ramu forget about the death. He is trying to tell him about their childhood and how, you know, they messed up. They were playing with kites and ended up in having an accident, and tried to hide it from their parents. They had been swimming in a forbidden pool. You know how mischievous kids can be. Are you that mischievous? So it ended up that Kota, yeah, got 3 pieces of wood and tied Ramu's broken finger. And he thought that was okay. But at the end of the day, in the night, the accident could not be controlled. So they got some lashing and he was treated anyway. So this story makes him relax, you know, like the reaction comes with laughter. So as we get to page 36, we are seeing that Vera has come in with Tindo. They are supposed to travel and they are very sorry for whatever has happened to Ramu, the death of the wife, that is. And Ramu is so appreciative for their presence. And of course, Kota says, your doctor seems able to treat himself. You know, like he's trying to make Vera understand that everything is okay. Yeah. So now Vera and Tindo explain that they have gotten a job, like Tindo has a coaching job abroad. And so he will be coaching some colleges abroad as Vera is studying. Remember, she was going for her master's degree. And she was supposed to defend her thesis a month later. So then they wind up they are telling Ramu that they're winding up their jobs and they'll be going a week after. Yeah, so they say they wish to meet the boy, but unfortunately it may not be possible. So they say, of course, they'll come back after the boy is 6 years, and of course they'll meet the boy. So Vera then requests to be a godmother to the boy. And of course Ramu does not reject. Yeah, Ramu allows them. So as we end this scene, we actually see that Tindo says that he will send his number, you know, to Dr. Ramu so that they can be monitoring the boy. Yeah, and that's how this scene ends as Vera planned to travel. So thank you for watching. If you came live, I'm so happy. I'm grateful. But this is a very interesting story. Keep reading it and discussing. If you have a kid, go on and discuss with them what the book is about. It's a very interesting one, as I told you. It's a social aspect that happens every day of our life. Bye-bye for now.